Dire's pick.
Skywrath Mage.
Radiant's pick.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to NewBee versus Vici Gaming. It's our deciding game number 3. This is game 3. It is not a BO1. It was a BO3. Vici Gaming took game 1 very convincingly. NewBee struck back equally convincingly, I would say, in game number 2. Oh, a little bit of a cloudier game, but still convincing one. And so here we are in our deciding game number 3. Got Vici Gaming on the Dire side, NewBee on the Radiant. Of course, joining me for this one, none other than the ever-elusive BTS gods.
Yeah, hello, and we've got some, as lanes kind of as you called them, we're going to see some dual lanes from Vici Gaming with a slightly unconventional Undying pick, and we'll see what NewBee can do to handle this. They haven't got the strongest laning stage. Lich is kind of one of those good laning heroes as far as like denying XP, controlling the lane, but there's not much killing power in the NewBee lane. It's going to have a very passive first 10 minutes of this game, it feels like.
Well, with that said, we should run over the lineups real quickly. You mentioned the dual lane offense. Fenrir on the Skywrath Mage. Ice is the farming Undying. Really drop an Observer to block this pole camp. Now makes his way towards mid. Super on one of his classic heroes as a lane with a Razor. You've got Black playing the safe lane Drow. Early Wraith Ban, just look for that Agi to stack up, and FY will be the playmaking
And away we go.
support and potentially the carry if he gets his farm on the Visage. Meanwhile for NewBee, it's an offlane Void for Hal, but there will be dual lanes here from NewBee as well. Banana going into the list to that lane, so they'll try and counter the Drow Visage this way. Moo will take your Viper mid, and meanwhile, Ice is pursuing Sanction in the jungle, who is running a Dazzle. Rabbit will be playing the Doom. So, just to like very quickly recap at least my thoughts on the draft was, we saw the Drow Visage giving away, and then NewBee looks like they want to reply to it with a mass armor strat. So they get Dazzle, who gives them the plus armor from Weave. They get Void, who is naturally high armor. Viper, who can build the max and tank up. Doom, who can get an ice armor creep potentially. And of course Lich with frost armor, which you can also use on building. So it's not like a full armor strat, but there's definitely a pretty heavy armor component to it.
Yeah, and the lanes as far as the draft's concerned are going to decide a lot of how the kind of tempo plays out here. For Vici Gaming, they want to, and you mentioned it, the Visage can turn to that character, he gets the farm, he needs those familiars, you want to get him up nice and early, so Vici Gaming want to try and create as much spaces for that dual lane top as possible, but it's dual lane on dual lane, and Lich is a pretty nice hero to have against this Drow Visage, because they're very kind of level dependent to get the early familiars and even the early marksmanship on the Drow Ranger.
Yeah, the only downside is this is a melee hero on Lich, so not very good at trading blows, as Super is going really aggressive mid lane. He's going to have to rotate around the other way, but he'll draw a creep back with him. And his wave continues to push through. Meanwhile, bottom Fenrir has been pretty aggressive on his Skywrath Mage. He's used up most of his mana pool, but still a little bit left. Sanctuary going for the D-Ward. It isn't actually in range of the camp, but Ice is here to prevent that. Although they don't have a sentry, so they're not going to be able to deward this, so eventually that camp should be cleared out, and it'll be 50 gold for Saint-Chain.
Yeah, that's important, I think, for dealing with these pesky dual lanes in the offlane, is having your full camp available, pulling blade back and just being able to deny as much XP as possible. Fenrir is probably one of the, I think they're going to body block it just so it doesn't fall. Yeah, Ice to body block it. Fenrir is going to go check the 2-minute rune. This is just smart play coming out of Vici Gaming.
Yeah, they're an experienced team at this point, and even with the new additions, Black and Ice, they're certainly veteran Dota players, so pretty much understanding their roles and being comfortable under pressure. As we see FY gets off his secondary pull, but actually Howe's here to leech the experience anyway, so he'll start getting last hits. It's basically a pull for NewBee with the Drow Ranger. It's not really that aggression. Yeah, we might soon, although Ice is a bit low on the mana pool.
Yeah, he's been just spamming away with the decay here and trying to, I guess they're just going to, I mean, Rabbit's stuff all his mana and he's all low in regen, Sanching's low in regen, so it's been a fairly equal trade-off, I think, all in all. With both Undying and as well as Doom just sitting on like 7-8 CS, neither farming well, neither farming horribly though.
Yeah, regen's becoming a bit of a problem for NewBee though. They're nearly out of HP regen. Actually, Fenrir is pretty low too. And general, we're going to see somebody has to go to base or fairy regen soon on the side lane.
Especially Rabbit, he wants the mana for Devour. Like, he can't even use his Devour at this point, so this is like...
He would love to get a
values
magic
being lost.
stick against these two heroes. Like,
Yeah.
magic stick is amazing, but you can't get to the tower when they're constantly pushing.
May just go for something like a bottle if you can get some courier use, but yeah, this is...
Look at
This is
this.
a bit
Ice is now pulling the lane. He does not want them getting into the side shop. I think that's the thinking here.
Yeah, and also, like, he sees how low they are on regen, and farming under tower means you take a lot of extra damage, so... Rabbit's going to have to chew through a salve, and they're going to miss a lot more last hits because of this, just because they don't want to take as much damage. Ice has a similar story, though. He's going to be lasting under tower, though. With that said, he can still last it just fine under tower.
Yeah, he's got a stealth shield. He also has that ever so
That
crucial
bottom
magic stick.
tower's
Not as
giving
good
them
for
business.
Vici as it is for NewBee in this lane, but still not a bad item to have. Team on top lane. Now we're gonna bash on FY. He also has a time on forward. He gets the secondary bash. Now he's gonna go for it. That RNG. It's only a level 1 bash, man. It's only 10%. One more auto attack would do it. Can he get it off? Boots are up. FY doesn't have it, but this consistent frost arrow spam. He's close. First blood.
What a player.
The gods are kind to Al.
That was like 2 bashes and 3 hits.
Yeah, I mean, he got a few hits off before the camera.
Yeah.
I moved my camera there, I think. But meanwhile, Ice has gone mid, and we'll look to dive move. They'll get the kill as a return. So they call it the solo mid
tower
Viper.
could use
It
a
does
hand.
require an extra rotation, but Mana also TP's in for this.
That's a pretty nice kill. That's not a rotation you expect, and that's actually quite
the
important.
golden tombstone. I'm still salty. I don't have one.
On the Undying.
Yeah, so salty.
Well, it's an autograph one. I can't remember. I think
Radiant's
it's
mid
autographed by
tower's
the
getting
lad.
banged
actually.
up.
Aren't you special?
Yeah.
Man, those things. I was so frustrated because Hotbit got like, I think he opened 3 and got 3, or maybe no, he opened 3 and got 2, and then he opened someone else's and got another one for them. So he was 3 for 4. I was 0 for 4, I think. Still sad.
That's some value.
Oh no! In addition to your issues earlier, now I'm having perfect world lag. This is probably a good time to reconnect.
This is Dota 2, man. As Team EG would say.
Alright.
Guys are on bottom lane if you're
Alright,
still
maybe I'll
there.
wait then. Tombstone comes down the side. Chain there. Nice put Dazzle onto the tower, and he'll try and throw up the heal to survive. Now silenced, and will be run down in the end. Alright, we're just gonna chance to get.
It's alright. Well, after the kill, the Tombstone's there, like, clearing the
Radiant's
replay, so I think
bottom
BT may even go for a fast tier on tower. If they don't get the tower, they'll get some good damage on it, so... I mean, looking at all the lanes as
Radiant's
a whole, all
bottom
3
tower
lanes,
seen
VG Gaming
better
have
days.
good farm in their core heroes, like Razor, Dro, Undying, all with 20 plus CS. For the newbie side, Viper has just 6 CS against this Razor. Viper's getting crushed mid. Moo is just getting... I mean, we saw Super kind of diving past the tower earlier, but it turns out it pays off because Moo was having no damage, constantly getting leeched, and has found himself with absolutely no farm in this 1v1 matchup. The gank, of course, helped, but I think the gank aside, he's kind of getting outplayed regardless, and he's still being pushed out of this lane. Oh, man. I feel for this poor Viper. It's alright. No kills being missed is the good news. Yeah, it's rough life. How's almost level 6 on the Void? That's going to be probably the kind of opening for NewBee to kind of make something happen, or at least get a kill on the key hero. He may want to swing mid to try and Chronosphere on Razor, use the Viper Strike to get a kill there. Either that or the supports come top and he gets a kill on the Drow Ranger with maybe some backup from the supports, but it's a really good for Razor. Really good. Well, we will have some action bottom lane though, but that's all good, man. Doom picks up a kill on the Skywrath Mage, that one coming with the Lich rotating from top, so Void's been left solo up top, but he's already level 6. Here's your Chronosphere, and then the TPs come top. So Lich gets a kill bottom, immediately TPs top, and with Chronosphere, with Frost Blast, looks like we'll see a kill on Black. The Chronosphere is there, there's a Frost Blast to follow, TP from Dazzle as well. Lich accidentally walked into the Chronosphere, but it's not gonna matter. Time walk, one more right click. Void gets a kill on the Drow Ranger, and that's pretty straightforward kill for NewBee. They had to work for it, but they'll take out Drow Ranger. FY scurries away to the safety of his tower, and well, a couple unanswered kills coming NewBee's way. A lot of these Lich rotations working out well, and Lich now level 6, so there's also Chain Frost coming into play for NewBee as well. So while mid lane was a disaster, the other two lanes going pretty
Holy
well.
shit, we're back in the game. It was literally 2 minutes hard by top lane on that point. How will go, but he's fully directing for these 6 stick charges. Doesn't pop them, still into play. Now Black will rotate it, score 5-3, catch you guys up. It's a slight lead right now for the Dire squad.
Until they die.
Those 3 kills.
Until NewBee dies, yeah.
Radiant
Yeah,
structures
it's
must
going pretty heavily for Vici now. Over 1,000 gold lead, about a 500 experience lead. Okay, so Void is Chronosphere, he used it earlier. Doom is now hit level 6. Super is, as you mentioned, was dominating the Viper mid extremely hard. And they also are rotating Fenrir towards this mid lane. Maybe looking for kill on Rabbit.
Yeah, Rabbit is possibly... he's not farming, I guess he's not farming too great after the bottom lane, but he did pick up a kill earlier. But Vici Gaming, I think he's feeling confident they can start taking down towers here. They've got the max out.
Radiant's
Tombstone
bottom
on fire.
towers.
Tombstone is
Radiant's
not really
mid towers getting the
an option at the
1-4.
moment for NewBee. He said during the draft, like, who actually kills the Tombstone? At this point, no one really has the physical damage. Void's not really hitting fast enough to bring it down in a timely fashion at all.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Doom was used on super mid lane, but they need a lot more to dive this. No, they're gonna get nothing. Another misfire here from NewBee.
Yeah, Super's still like so far ahead too. Like the Viper is moved bottom lane just to get some CS. He's up to 21 CS now, but
The Dire
until he went
best
bottom
do
lane he was like
something
10
about that
CS to
bottom
40
tower.
CS of the Razor.
And they're wrapping around on this bottom lane. There is no way to cancel TP though, and Moo will just TP out.
That'll work.
Good calm reactions there under pressure. Not too much pressure when you see the
There's only familiar stun. That's the only disable for
You're
Vici
right.
Gaming.
Actually, that's going to be a big problem for them, I think, if they're not able to forward fights.
Yeah, they definitely need to get ahead, and they've got the lineup which is okay to have no disables with.
Yeah, the poison touch comes on that point top lane. So level 1 for now, the heal is maxed, and now we'll get on the board again. He's 4-1 and 0 on his
Tower in a
off lane
pretty
Void.
sight right now.
Yeah.
That is a problem. Like, to me, the feeding the Viper would be okay. The Void and the Doom,
Radiant's
these are the
bottom
two heroes
tower
that can
seen
shut down
better
the Drone
days.
Ranger. You just jump in with the blinker time while she loses all her agility, and
Radiant's
she's not
bottom
going anywhere,
tower's
because you
done
just Doom
for.
her, Chrono her, and then kill her
The
off.
Dire might want to mind their
On
top
paper, at
towers.
least, yeah, they're two of the better heroes to
Dire
shut her down.
structures looking fortified.
They're off to a decent
Dire's
start, but the
top
tower
tower,
advantage is
you know
helping
the drill.
Vici to stay ahead for now.
Maybe you'll get their first tower of the game at top lane. How?
Dire's
Not gonna get the
top
last
tower's
X, give it to the
gone.
Viper, which is probably the better choice considering just how far behind Moo is. As he picks up just some treads and TP scroll, so... NewBee going to be under a lot of pressure to defend though, fighting into Undying. Undying's got a bunch of items waiting back at base and earn the magic wand and...
Time walk as well as a Chronosphere, but he's like, uh-oh. Fenrir might have his ultimate. He actually didn't have his ult, but there wasn't anyone really close. Banana has Chain Frost. Now that's such a deadly combo. Like if he got that off and Banana was there with Chain Frost, that's a double kill, but... Maybe Fenrir could have dragged the Chain Frost out of the Chrono, but would have been tough.
Well, T2 just getting pressure. They know there's no Chrono now, so this is where real damage can be applied. Visage Familiar's coming in as well, and this is possibly a tower that just can't be defended, I feel.
Familiar's looking for a backstep on Banana. Here they come. They've got 86 damage, and they just start shredding his HP pool. They'll need like 2 more volleys, but there's a grave ready, so they'll just turn on Sanctuary instead. Time off in for Mount. They'll get stunned for this. This creates space to push the tower down.
They've got the mech on Super. This is just so safe to do. He's already popped the mech, but he's using it really efficiently. They don't want to
Radiant's
use these
bottom
familiars. He
tower
doesn't have a
seen better
resummon
days.
after a
There
little bit.
goes
but
Radiant's
Micro's
bottom
not gonna
tower.
lose.
FY, he's a micro player. I'll have to wait for the stuns to get the heal up before probably before he runs them out.
One man micros, another man spam click over trees, so... No, that was...
That's not quite me level micro, that's for sure. Top lane, they'll go on move, and then they can't do anything.
No, it's gonna get annoying for VG Gaming that this, like, when NewBee
should-
can just kind of solo push lane and TP out if they're ever in danger, but...
They should really invest in a Yule Scepter on someone.
Yes.
I don't know if Ice should get it, maybe the Skywrath can build it. They should at least get a Yule Scepter, I would say.
Yeah, they haven't got... Yeah, I guess Scarif is the hard supports, but yeah, maybe Ice he doesn't really go back.
Well, I don't know, Doom Super as he runs in. That's a Tombstone's drop. He's not TPing out of this, and if he tries to, it might be too late. Chain Frost, throwing out the other direction, and well, nice. For the time being, it's okay. It's just bouncing. You see these zombies. And doing absolutely nothing. Yeah, zombies hard counter for the Chain Frost. Fenrir will end escaping. Meanwhile, the Chronosphere going on to Super, but he maxed up. He's gonna survive. He's ready to fight. So Silence and pulling back 3 as the Visage also joins in. How? Time Walk, even the Soul Subject will follow. He'll end up joining out. Banana needs to TP out. Doesn't have the mana for it. He'll end up going down 2. Despite the no way to cancel TPs, he's still getting 3 kills. It's a triple for the Visage. He's got half of his Aghanims already. It could have been an Ultra, but it is a team wipe for VG Gaming. And Blackpool will get that last kill. Blink Dagger already out. Midas already out. That's the kind of fight VG Gaming need to be taking. And man, those zombies just completely counted the Chain Frost there.
How got a bit unlucky in the Chronosphere that he didn't kill the Razor. He got 1 bash in like maybe 4 or 5 hits, and the bash came at a bad time. He needed the bash like at the end of the Chronosphere, so the mech couldn't be used. But Razor got the mech off when he was like 1 hit from dying, and that turned the fight around. That was just a bit unfortunate for Hal, but considering how lucky he got at top lane when he got the, I don't know if it was first blood, but when he got the solo kill on the Visage, like some bad luck was coming his way.
It was probably in the cards. But yeah, this is scary. Feature Gaming with a Drought Ranger already hitting level 11 at 14 minutes, and a Visage who's level 8 and halfway to his Ags. You lose 1 or 2 bad fights for NewBee, and suddenly they've taken Roche. They've probably taken, well, the tier 1 top's just dead. At some point, Visage will kill it no matter what you do. The tier 2 top and mid could also be in jeopardy, and they may find themselves basically no outer towers and an Aegis advantage against them. At which point, sure, they can still push and there's not many ways to cancel TP stunts, but they can't just push fast enough because these familiars and Drought will do a lot of work.
Yeah, the familiars alone can like push out 1 lane while the heroes push out 1 more, and even if they're losing a tower in that 3rd lane, it's not really that big of an issue for VG Gaming, so they'll take this T1 top tower and I imagine be able to get back in time
taking hits.
to defend them T1 mid if they want to.
Radiant's gone and
I say
fortified.
for now, it's a Vitality Booster as
mid
but he doesn't have his ult, or he doesn't have his ultimate. Yeah, now he gets silenced. They might be able to turn on him. Chronosphere now ready. He's not to off. He's going to be forced to drop it just to cover the retreat. Not the best. I like this Doom. He already got his Tombstone though. Mystic Flare coming out. The back hero's already dead. His little trade chain. They'll kill him off too. 2 dead. Looking for a 3rd. Ice. Will end up going down to the Chain Frost, but Banana will be the trade. Aqua gets yet another kill. And suddenly up to 740 gold. As VG Gaming can push in mid now if they want. Or they can go rush, and that's the best. Medallion picked up by the Skyrat. This is awesome for FY because they get the Midas Arbor, but he can still rush his Ags, and he's like 2/3 of the way there.
Yeah, throw some Roshan gold in. They didn't actually end up getting the top T1 tower. They opted to take the fight and defend instead, which I think is fine. You're gonna get those towers fast enough regardless. So
they should really give FY the
tournament entry carry.
Yeah, he actually did get it. Even with the Drought just kind of auto-attacking.
Okay. 1300 gold. He's 700 away from a very fast Axe. He wants to get the Axe around the level 11 mark, which he will, and he'll have 3 level 2 familiars, which is going to be just hard. That's just going to be brutal for NewBee, especially those 2 squishy supports.
You know, I talked about this as like the armor strat, but when you only have level 1 ice armor and no points in weave, it's not much of an armor strat, guys. And Rabbit has a tornado. He does have the toughness armor though, I suppose. But you'd probably rather have ice armor if you really want the armor.
Yeah. So
not much of an armor strat yet.
NewBee, their early game was very weak. Like they had very passive lanes. Viper had to do better mid. And they had a fantastic
Radiant's mid tower coming apart.
Getting kills and stuff, but that wasn't even enough. With Viper doing better than expected, they're still very far behind.
I love how Ice walks up like to here to use a single big K on the Doom, and then walks out, and NewBee just can't punish it. Like they actually can't do anything about that without pushing the top lane. Ice, that's some cojones, man. And for, you know, the other nice thing about this Blink Dagger and Drow this game is against the Void. If Black is quick on his reflexes, he can bait out the Chrono, and with no Chrono, NewBee have no shot. With the Chrono, and if Hal gets Mask of Manas, maybe they can kill him. Although, interestingly, he hasn't bought it yet. I'm wondering if he's thinking about like an Exorcist Maelstrom instead. Mask of Manas is such a good attack speed item. Chrono's good, ice.
Okay, look at this skill.
It's a little odd that he hasn't bought it yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that either, what he's planning, because the Mask of Madness on its own is not exactly, the Morbid Mask on its own is not exactly a value item. Yeah, he buys it
okay,
finally.
we'll go back for it now. Maybe it's debating like a BKB or X Watch instead. That's really the only thing they could think of. You want
He's gonna do
damage?
The
Yeah,
Viper
there's
is
like...
so underfarmed.
That's true. Yeah, but it was
Radiant's
points.
top tower's in bad shape.
Now
Very much
it's
his only real item. Oh gods, the push is coming. Level 3 up now on the Visage. He has 3 buffs available, and
The Radiant got
I
one
think he's
last
just gonna
top
let these
tower.
familiars like do as much as possible. Hold the resummon for the time being.
And Razor can just kind of solo defend the mid-tier one. Doesn't
Dire's
have to worry
mid
about the
tower
Cronus
won't
here.
last much longer.
He may still take some damage in this joint. They need another TP to actually properly defend it, as how he's kind of committing to some extra damage. But his Visage is just fine to defend.
And with the Aegis up now, they're still pushing the top lane. NewBee are going to rotate bottom. ISS has dropped his tombstone, but this will last for quite some time yet. I'm just wondering if Banana gets a blink into a silence here, or just a blink into a frost arrow might be enough to kill Banana. Maybe you were expecting this type of a rotation, so they TP him too. They'll keep him alive, but that frees up the entirety of their jungle and all of the mid lane for Vici to get aggressive if they so choose.
Black's farm starting to pick up now. He's got the Yasha coming out on the Courier. May see that Maternal Envy like Sanjin Yasha build, or maybe just into a Manta style. The casual Yasha even works just fine, but he's a bit kind of starved for item slots. When you go the Midas, Blink, and Aegis, like these take up all these item slots, and you kind of want to have a TP. So I imagine he'll turn this Yasha either into a Manta or a Sanjin Yasha before he picks up his next item.
Yeah, it's not really a great Manta game. There's nothing to Manta dodge of note.
Yeah.
I guess Vapor Strike
Dire's
perhaps,
mid
but
tower
that's
could use a little help.
the biggest deal. Manta can confuse a Doom. I guess that's the one thing that makes him valuable, is if he wastes Doom on Evolution.
Dire's mid
Yeah,
tower's
I'm
been
kind of feeling
disowned.
like Sanjin Yasha, or
Radiant's top tower's hurting.
maybe he just decides to run around with the TP, or wait to buy something until he loses the Aegis. But yeah,
Radiant lost
he's
the
limited as
top
far as
tower.
inventory goes. Last outer tower
Dire's
falls is
mid
pretty
tower
much
is
like a
having
formulaic
technical
start overall for Vici. They take all the outer towers, they have the Drow Visage, the Visage gets his axe, his level 2 familiars out, and they're going to look to push in now. The siege will begin, and this defense will be, it'll need to come almost immediately from NewBee. Chronosphere is ready, they'll Doom to start this one, they blink him on the Razor. Doom just gets melted. Waiting for that Howl Chronosphere. He's just trying to fight off the players, but he gets triple stun, and the Razor's actually going in while doomed. He's going into their base while under the
Radiant's top tower is bad shape.
I get to get the next drums out of the fight, but even so, unless you're guaranteed, you need
Radiant's
to
top
follow up on the
tower
voice
is taking
long.
hits.
I
One
guess it's
less
just like
top
damage
tower
you do
for the
damage you don't
Radiant.
at this point, so.
And Vici are not going to
Radiant
stop.
bottom
They got
tower
71 damage
is
per picking these familiars. It's going to sit at a solid 57, and that's 2.5 attempts a second doing that damage. I will check to the Chronosphere, but he's getting really chopped up by the Razor ultimate. They're in ready if they need it, and if they leave one in reserve, Chain Frost does absolutely go nicely between two heroes. Directly between Fenrir and Black, then it bounces forward a little bit. This Chain Frost like seen in a long time, but Black just chunks his way through it. Still gets off their kill. The familiar resummons even available, and they're still alive. They're going to kill off Banana as well. F5, as he always seems to be, the carry for this squad. But the heal bomb, actually did a lot of work to those.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason for the dazzle thing. Unfortunately,
You need
that be
creeps
less
under
than
them,
up.
yeah. It's a rare occasion where I guess you have that. Lots of creeps under the familiars, but yeah, that worked out okay. Kill 2 familiars, but lose Rex.
So Vici Gaming still stay on Aegis. They may wait for the next Aegis, but after that, I see no reason why they wouldn't just go and do this again, gods.
Yeah.
They're starving out the enemy team. The Void has a Mask Mance and a Mithril Hammer. Rabbit has a good items, Blink and Mech, but you know, nothing beyond that. No Shivas, no Refresher. And these heroes are not going to be getting out of the map much, and you can forget about the Viper or anybody else.
Yeah, and F1's building an AC. He's picked up the Hypersona already. Says, let's get some Midas Armor to deal with the Weave, deal with the Frost Armor and all that, so.
He's already over halfway there. He's going to get the freaking plate mail gold if he wants it.
That's a scary fella.
Is it time where teams just have to second phase ban like Wisp and Visage? Or Wisp and Drow maybe, if they see those two heroes still in the pool against Vici. I'm not sure you can afford to force first phase ban them, but like they just seem like they've win almost all their games where they get Tiny Wisp or Visage Drow.
I think especially when Vici on the dire side, because Stroud is fantastic at killing Roshan, so.
That's true.
Radiant, I mean, I think it's always still very strong arguments for doing on the Radiant side as well, so. Yeah. It's such a potent combo, and NewBee tried something different to try and deal with it. I think they needed more aggression though, like they needed stronger just killing power with their core heroes and even their supports like Lich, Dazzle. Like there wasn't really like a game plan with these two heroes apart from using their plus like their team fight combined with their bonus armor. But as far as the first 10-15 minutes of the game go, VG Gaming could just do whatever they wanted. They could go for these greedy duel lanes and just come out on top. Like they had the top 3 CSing heroes at 5 minutes in were all the VG Gaming heroes. All 3 lanes they were essentially winning.
And that was with some good luck too. Like the Bashes needed to get the first blood on F1 top lane from Hal.
Yeah.
Imagine if he doesn't get those. How bad this game look right now for NewBee. Well, it might even be over if not for that good start. He's still 6-3-1 even after the recent deaths. Familiars are on the move, looking for supports to snipe out. Also just potentially setting up for a go here on Hal. Master Man has popped, Familiar's done. First few auto attacks, second stun, third's done. Killed off by the Visage with a little help from Fenrir, but just a little bit. Like, we'll try to throw this. Mystic cleared out to Zip by so the net and the play here for now. No stun, still Doom F1. Throwing out a chain cross as well. Big commitment to kill the Visage. Bouncing between the Familiars and doing nothing in the process. Down to chase the other direction. On to Banana they go, still juggling that chain cross between the Familiars. Stomps going down to 5. Not gonna be ready in time, but they don't need him. Sanctuary will still go down. NewBee lose 3. They get 2. They don't kill the drone, they don't kill the Familiars, and that means it's high ground time, baby. VG Games, Segulator Rex. If there's no buybacks in the Radiant, they actually have one on the point, they're not even bothering to spend it. It's almost like they've already skipped out.
Yeah, Void back in 5 seconds, I guess, but yeah, I think this is a perfect point in the return for NewBee. 2 lanes of axes, and there's no way to engage with 5 because VG Gaming 5 minutes. This is the VG Gaming from TR4. Same strat, different heroes, and some slightly different players, but it's essentially the same recipe for success. Yeah.
I think he might have rolled his face across the keyboard. I'm not really sure.
Well, that will work, but that sums up his probably feelings about the Drow Visage combo.
Dire's done it again.
And with that, guys, VG Gaming are the first team out of all regions to qualify for the StarLadder Season 10 LAN Finals. They will now be going not only to ESO 1, but also to StarLadder Season 10. They will have 2 chances to prove themselves on Western soil. And Black maybe, gets to go see his family while he's back in Europe. We'll see. But VG, they haven't been perfect by any means, but overall they've been the most consistent Chinese team, and in a scene that's been so topsy-turvy, that goes a long way.